And I don't even understand why our people want to depend on Caucasian police officers for our protection, knowing the type of history we've had in this nation. We should be pushing for our people to own firearms. We should be pushing for our people to legally be armed and be trained on this. This is one of the things Huey P. Newton, that was pretty much the premise of his party, he was the Black Panther Party for self-defense. He believed that we should be armed so that we can prevent any of this violence that's going on. I mean, if black people were, I'll put it to you this way, there's a city out here called, there's a city in Kennesaw, right, in Georgia, where in order to get, I think it's Forsyth, I can't remember which one, but it's near Kennesaw. In order for you to get a home, you have to have a firearm. Out here, you have to have a firearm. 100% of their population, homeowners, are armed. And guess what? They have one of the lowest amount of B&E breaking and entries in the entire state. Because of that, nobody's going to, if they know that this is a town where everybody's armed, nobody's going to run up in that house. If you know everybody's armed, you're not going to run up on people trying to just talk loosely or start problems and so forth, because you know that people are well capable of defending themselves just as bad as capable you are of actually attacking them. So what it is, it becomes responsible firearm ownership that should be the talk right now, as opposed to removing firearms. If we have firearm training at a young age, children would deal with guns in a lot different way. But what happens is the media sensationalizes things to try to scare people into believing that firearms, especially AR-15s, are the bad guys. And when the reality is, just look at the statistics alone. They're saying AR-15s need to be banned because they've been used in mass shootings. But who's usually getting killed in mass shootings? White folks. And they want to ban AR-15. But you've never heard them talk about banning handguns. When you go up in Chicago and you look at all the deaths that happened in Chicago, all the deaths that happened in Brooklyn when I was growing up, they were all a result of a fucking handgun. But you never heard them talking about banning handguns. So there is a change going on in this country, and because that change is going on, they have to make sure that they disarm as many people in the public as possible, so that you won't have a potential for rebellion. I'm big on keeping firearms, and I'm big on teaching the youth that, like I tell my son, stay away from crime. The two things that you cannot come back from is having unprotected sex and breaking the law. So I tell my sons, just like Allah say, don't break the law. Stay away from it. And if you don't break the law, then guess what? When you're 21, you can go and purchase you a firearm. And let's train you at a young age so that when you see a firearm, you're not wowed out by it. You're not curious. You won't do anything stupid with it. And you know that, listen, I'm 14, 15, 16 years old. A couple of more years, I can buy my firearm legally. And I can go to the range and have fun. You know how many, brothers in New York City alone are carrying guns that they can't shoot off? You know how many brothers in New York City alone have guns where they have to scratch off the serial number, and if they get caught with those guns, they face some heavy time? No, we need to push for more, for lack of a better term, firearm allowance, meaning allowing people to be able to carry and teaching them properly how to carry. And if there's
teaching them properly how to use it too.
And teach them properly how to use it, absolutely. It's just like fighting. When you train to fight, you might grow up looking at dudes thinking that, this dude is a fighter. I had a couple of cats in my neighborhood that were fighters. But then when you train to fight, you're like, oh, motherfucker really couldn't fight. You know what I'm saying? He just had heart, and he swung a lot faster and harder than the next dude. You know what I mean? And the same thing with firearms.
If Mecca did this.